All right, welcome back to the podcast. This is Word with Brownlow, where no one is worthless, no story is worthless. And today I have a very special guest. Let me give you a couple of words about my guest here. Alpha, father, practitioner, and inspirational. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Larry B. Love. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thanks for having me today.
Hey, man, no problem. Man. Fellow I-Stater, fellow Stater. So, we look out for our own Redbirds,
Right.
So you are here today to share a very important message. What is that message that you're here to share, sir?
That message is definitely that health and wellness has to be a priority that we not only that we may need to invest in, but it's something that's a legacy-based discipline. And I want more people to understand that if that's their focus, their lifestyle can be really great. The people who they care for can be really great. And also, just leading by example. We get some statistics that I'll share throughout today that will probably get people's attention on why placing their health and wellness as a priority is really important.
Okay. All right. Well, health and wellness is very key, and especially in today's society. But let me ask you, what was the inspiration for the idea leading up to where you are now in your process?
So initially I started off as a sports medicine specialist, and I was working in physical therapy clinics. I was also doing outreach to different secondary school settings and in youth athletics. So most youth athletic secondary school settings, they must have an athletic trainer on staff. Athletic trainers are real inspirational in prevention, evaluation, treatment, and rehabilitation of injuries. And then what I noticed was that there was another component besides just prevention. It was quality of life metrics. And so those quality of life metrics really led me to take an integrated approach to not only starting my business, but how I practice my discipline of delivering protocols on health, wellness, prevention, and also sports medicine. So that led to my starting a business. It's called Total Body Wellness and Performance. It's an integrated practice that really focuses on not only how you look, but more importantly, how you feel and how you perform.
Okay, all right. Now, you said something very interesting. Quality of life.
Quality of life, yeah.
Yes. Quality of life metrics, I believe it was?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So can you break that down a little bit more for those out there who like quality of life metrics? I don't even know what that is. So please explain to the people what you mean by quality of life metrics, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Quality of life metrics are your day-to-day interactions of how you feel. And so quality of life metrics is, are you getting up on time? Are you able to even get sleep at night? Quality of life metrics also include, how do you interact with other people? And that's huge because in the what I call the misinformation age, people are always thinking about, hey, I heard this, I heard that. But the quality of life focuses on basically what's your blueprint for how well that you're living. And how well you're living really is dependent on quality of life metrics of the people you have involved in your life, the people who you have to care for, but also what's your recovery? Recovery means how do you come down from your day? And when you bring that as a totality, it really allows you to kind of create, again, like as I said, a blueprint for how you're really living. And when we talk about metrics, those are markers that are going to indicate, how well you're living. Do you go see a doctor? Okay, when's the last time you had a doctor's visit? How active are you? And I'm not just talking about exercise. I'm talking about, do you move throughout the day? How do you eat? Okay, nutrition is important. And lastly, I think the one thing that's probably most important, I go back to this all the time, if you were in a fight or flight situation for survival, could you maintain that? If you needed to run, if you needed to, go up a flight of stairs in a hurry, with all these incidents that happen throughout our day-to-day society, how could you react to that and still, be safe in a healthy manner? So I hope that helps you out.
Oh no, brother, that helps me out tremendously. And let me just say that I'm over here smiling because as you're sitting here breaking it down, I'm just like, yeah, so yeah, if I did have to go up a flight of stairs, how long would it take me to get up these stairs?
Right.
And I mean, honestly, what you're saying is, or these are situations that we don't even think about on a day-to-day. It's just
exactly
what it is. But if it was a dire situation where you needed to depend on this,
sure,
what would
absolutely.
Okay, all right. I see your vision, brother. I see your vision.
Yep.
So let me ask, throughout this process, what solutions have you come up with for like your community and the people that you serve? Like, what are some of the solutions?
Yeah. Well, Ty, first of all, as you know, and the same with you, I'm a big believer in education. Education, not just book education, but practical education. And sometimes people have to be shown what to do. And there's other objective learners where people are like, hey, I'll read this information. So providing resources of kind of what to do and doing it by example myself, that's one thing that's really helped out with some community education. The second one is creating groups and what I would consider people to hold you accountable for staying healthy, for staying well. After you kind of have a support system, that's really key to, kind of have a check-in, because it doesn't always have to come from a practitioner like me. It could be someone in your family, So now health and wellness is bringing families together. So if we have a healthy household with a family saying, hey, you know what, instead of eating out 3 times a week, maybe we only eat out once a week, but we have dinner at the table, a couple times a week. So now we get some more, cohesive interaction. The other thing is this right here. Educating people that, investing in your health, if you don't do it now, you're going to have to do it later. So it's one thing to say, hey, you know what, I'll wait till tomorrow to get started. But I'm really trying to have people see that they do have resources to make health and wellness urgent in their life. And if I can expound a little bit, a lot of people think that, if you go see a practitioner, say you see a massage therapist, say you see a personal trainer, say you see a physical therapist, that, if I don't have insurance, I can't pay for those services. But you actually can. And so it's just an investment mindset. And that investment mindset is what's going to keep you healthy. And I'm all about legacy. Once you explain to people what legacy is not something you leave. Legacy is something you live. And it's very possible to do that if you just kind of take the right steps and get the right people surrounding you. So I hope that helps.
Oh, no. Hey, man, brother, you over here dropping the knowledge for the people who see. So, hey, I'm all about the education, man. I am all
Sure. Absolutely.
You just said some very profound things, and we'll get back to that in a second. But I'm going to say, through this process, what have been some of your most difficult challenges, and how do you solve them, or how did you overcome them?
Yeah, Ty, that's a very great question. And a lot of people think that when you start a business, especially in health and wellness, that it's just something that just, it just happens. And that's not how it happens. The reason you start a business in health and wellness is because of the things that were not happening. And the biggest challenge has been this right here. People understanding that it's important to invest in your health. People invest in clothes, they invest in cars, they invest in all these materials, but you know what? You can't use those things if you're not healthy. And so getting people to understand that there should be an urgency and a priority in investing in your health, that can be a little bit of a challenge. The other one is this right here. Getting people to make time for their health and wellness. Because a lot of people will say, I don't have time. And everybody has time until they don't have time. And what I mean by that, you can either put in the time now from a prevention standpoint, or you're going to have to put in the time later, after you're recovering from something. So hopefully I can get you on the front end to make time for that. And then the last one is this right here. The biggest challenge is this right here, consistency. Most people will start seeing some type of practitioner base, and things are going well, and they're like, they get comfortable. And so then it comes about, hey, I can do this on my own. And people create very false senses of security. So they'll say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna create health and wellness 5 days a week. But if you haven't worked on it 1 day a week, it's kind of unrealistic. So in a review, I would just say the education of urgency, investing in health and wellness has been a challenge, getting people to understand that it's important, and also understanding, hey, you know what? It has to be consistent.
Man, dude. Okay, all right. So look, if people want to get in contact with you and your services,
sure.
How do they get in contact with you? What do you offer? I mean, we've talked about, very knowledgeable things, that people can do to take care of themselves on a day-to-day. But if a person wants, hey, you know what? I like what you're talking about. I want your services. How do I get in contact with you? Tell the people how to get into contact.
There's two ways. They can email me, okay? It's larryb.love@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And what the email allows them to do is almost like a tertiary consultation. So that's a great way. Or I like to talk to people directly. If you're really serious about incorporating this lifestyle into your life, you can call me directly at Larry, at 708-218-7393. Now, I have a website, and it's constantly evolving. The one thing with the website is this right here. A lot of people will see services that are provided, but if you don't understand what those services are, they may not mean as much to you. So I really am encouraging people to contact me via email or call me directly, or you can text me. Services that I offer are consultations on prevention of injuries. Also, the services I offer are men's and women's health. The services that I offer in addition are just what I call recreational health and wellness and community health and wellness. Those in a nutshell are basically going to take you from where you are to where you need to be, and it's all based on your level of commitment. What do you want to do? I have people that say, hey, I'm going to Italy, and they're not very good at walking. So we just kind of incorporate what I call the activities of daily living with everything. And the main purpose of what I do is preventing injuries, getting you to feel better, and also being able to optimally perform at whatever you want to do.
Hey, I'm a big comic book guy, and what you're saying sounds like the Danger Room in the X-Men, where they have this room where they can like pan out any situation, and they can go through the situation to handle the actual situation better. But I know you're not offering the Danger Room, but you're just one a better way of life.
Sure, absolutely.
That's just for all my comic book fans out there. But anyway, man, look, so what is the one word that best describes you, Brother Larry, and why?
Mm-hmm. Resilient. And I use the word resilient because I've been in this field for 25 years. And there have been many instances where I was just like, man, are you doing the right thing by staying in this field? Because there was a time in health and wellness where it was so saturated that the people who really had the credentialed experience, the credentialed education, they weren't necessarily frowned upon, but they're like, I can go a cheaper route. And as you know, you get what you pay for. And so the resilience of just staying the course and keeping my main purpose of why I even got in this field has helped me, and that's to help people. And when you stay on your passion and your purpose, you overcome things, and you continually stay consistent, and you grow. And if you just stay at it, you really will be where you need to be. So resilience is really what describes me.
Okay, all right. Well, man, any shout outs, anything you want to say to the people, man? I mean, this is your floor, sir. Like, anything you want to say, please say it.
Well, first of all, I like to just put a great shout out there to all my ISU alumni, because I love me some ISU.
That's right.
I love my brothers from Alpha Phi Alpha. But here's the thing right here. I love people in general. And if I can impart anything upon you right now, if you are not where you want to be from a health and wellness perspective, it doesn't have to be me. I prefer it be me. Call somebody, get a consultation. If you haven't had your doctor's visit, it's still earlier in the year, okay? And wellness visits they don't cost anything, okay? So if people will take advantage of things they have for them, put your health and wellness first, okay? I want to shout out to my wife. I want to shout out to my kids. They deal with me every day, and and so they know that what I'm doing is what drives me and moves me. And I just want people to continue to understand that, you know what, tomorrow isn't promised. So practice being in the moment. Being in the moment means taking advantage of why you're on this earth, and that's to live. And so you can't live if you have a dying mindset. And so that's what I want to say. Total Body Wellness and Performance. That's my business. And I would love to have anyone as a client. I do consultations and I do provide a service. And the one thing I want people to know, Ty, is this right here. Mm-hmm. If you put your health and wellness as a priority, everything else will fall in line. So that's what I got to say.
Hey, words from the man himself. And seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, as he said before, it is very cost effective. Just because you see certain words, don't let certain words deter you from really getting your health and, man, your mental space checked out, because we live in a society where every time you turn on something, I could tell you right now, if I go on my phone, I'm going to see something within the first 5 seconds that's going to trigger me to be in a negative space. So it's very key of what you say, you know, your health, your mind, your body, get all that taken care of. Mr. Larry B. Love, I thank you, sir, for being a guest on my show.
Absolutely, Ty. I appreciate the opportunity, and we'll definitely be talking again. All right?
All right. Hey, man, this is Word with Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. We out.
All right. Peace.